The Orb Valis, an artificial ecosystem created by the Orokin Empire of old. The wildlife has, nonetheless, reclaimed this. No, the series isn't dead, guys. Some things just take time. You know how long it takes to play all of Warframe with unranked mods, live on stream, being bald, all while also actually being a regular Warframe player on my main account? Because I don't really know either. To be completely honest, we could have had this video out by February, but I've been playing a lot of Deadlock. But we'll talk more about that later because... Endoless Ironman 3, baby! We're working our way through all of Warframe with one simple restriction. No leveling up mods. In fact, if so much as a single rank 1 or above mod touches my loadout, my computer's fissile core will detonate, destroying me and creating an international incident. As an extra cherry on top, I'm also avoiding upgrading all of these things. Our goal? Every world boss and secret boss. Let's get it. Day, hold on a second. 5? No, 6. Day 5 was somehow lost to the sands of time, and all surviving documentation I have of it is this piece of notepaper that tells me we're not really missing out on much. Besides getting the Aminata crafted, past me apparently really hated Shield Lancer Eximus units, and barrel kill, you know the one. Damn. Must have been a pretty cool barrel kill. Day 6, and brother, we've got that Aminata. And it's really good. Instead of having to grind out resources to buy upgrades, the Aminata gives the player what they truly desire. 24/7 gambling to get a variety of stat increases. Crit chance, status, range, attack speed, or everything at once if you're lucky. Sure, these bonuses only last for 30 hits, but that just lets you repeat the game of chance all over again. My fun, enriching time that I enjoy spending with my chat began with them using the in-game gifting services to grief me. But it's okay, if you dance around on screen long enough, eventually someone takes pity on you and throws you some peanuts. In addition to the polearm of the degenerate gambler, I also had waiting for me an arsenal of several other sick-ish weapons. At a humble, completely average MR of 4, I'm starting to get access to a wider array of starter weapons. And by starter, I mean these guns have been in the game since the Obama administration and have been slightly power crept as time went on. Chief among them were the Amphis, which I expected to have innate electricity damage. It didn't. And the Heck, which, by virtue of being a shotgun, is able to bypass many pesky early game barriers, such as enemies having health. I figured the perfect place to put these new items to work would be a very fortunately timed Chinese New Year of the Horse event, where DE was giving away the entire Dagath Warframe for free. Or, I mean, basically free. All you have to do is 4 missions. That's not hard. I cannot stress this enough, gang. Warframe is an incredibly easy game. With how mobile you are and how not mobile the enemies are, any fight you might not be winning, you can just skedaddle away and reposition. This, combined with your 4 free revives every mission, means that most mission types in Warframe are just a matter of time. This held true with the first 3 Dagath part missions, even the one where I was fighting the Grineer Trouble Twins and got third-partied by a new Loka kill squad.
Oh hey! The Eximus units are here, and it looks like they're beefing. They're beefing with the other guys. What are y'all even talking about? There is no right moment in all this. This is chaos. What have you done to her? I honestly couldn't tell you. There we go. Took a little bit to take him down, but hey, that's free XP right there.
Because of this, even though I was operating the Warframe equivalent of a Reliant Robin, I wasn't having much trouble with enemies, even up to levels 30 to 40. Where the strategy begins to break apart, however, is when you have to stop running off to save your own skin, buckle down, and protect an objective. When you have to stand and fight, things get a little more complicated. It's hard enough to fight off a horde of high-level enemies in order to peel them off of one stationary target using the weapon equivalent of plastic cutlery, but when it comes to interception missions, well, let's just say that foreshadowing is a literary device in which...
Delta captured, now we go for Charlie. Motherfucker. My B point! Get off that. You bum! I'll kick your... I'll rub some freaking dirt in your eye. This might be... Chat, this might be a little bit of a problem. We gotta win 2 rounds? Oh boy. Where is that other capture point? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills right now. No, my B point! These Grineer are really starting to piss me off. I am the original John Endo. No, not tower loss. There was no one capturing anything. What? Am I going? No way's that. Oh my god, that is one of the... Dude. Evil ass map. What the hell? This is anxiety inducing. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemies. I think the tide's about to shift in our favor. Trust.
You have failed in your mission.
The last piece of the secret Chinese Dagath build was locked behind a level 30 Grineer interception on this map that probably has some other name, but I will always know it as Old School Draco. You wanna know how I claim Draco veterancy status? Check this out. Send the elevator up, roll off, roll into the pit, instant teleport to the top. Time saved and elevated gamer status preserved. But I'm getting ahead of myself. This mission sucked. Unlike my last interception mission, where the enemies were laughably underleveled, here, the Grineer have high levels and armor, which make them just take too long to kill to justify running around and killing all of them, because by the time you'd clear out one control point, another would get captured. And another thing, this map is giga spread out compared to other interception missions, and it has a lot of obstacles that block your sight lines, which makes spotting and dealing with enemies capturing points even more painful. I know I said the heck was really good for this level of gameplay, but a big weakness of it is its 4-shot magazine, and reload that is by no means long, but eventually you start to see enough points get captured while you're stuck feeding your stupid chud gun that you reach a breaking point. The Amanado ended up being my best method for clearing clumps of enemies, but that meant I had to move around really quickly between points to kill troops that were literally constantly capturing, combined with the fact that I had no enemy radar. Eventually, I gave up and decided to get some better equipment before trying to get— Nah, I didn't actually have to do any of that. I just kept playing the mission until I had a solid enough understanding of the enemy spawns, all the control point locations, and got lucky enough to make it through both rounds. There's some of that classic gaming difficulty. We saw a challenge, adapted our playstyle, and overcame it. This truly is a Reddit gaming moment. Up dudes to the left, and thank you for the gold, kind stranger. With that, I was able to set Dagath building, and spent the rest of day 6 getting ready for the second dream, which involved throwing hands with Tilrigor, who, honestly, might be a contender for one of my favorite bosses in the game as a character, and most hated boss fights. Look at how much this guy teleports around! Lastly, to reach the Neptune Junction, I needed to pass through Puck, an innocuous submersible exterminate mission. Or at least it would have been if the game didn't decide to spawn half of this mission's enemies underwater.
Please don't tell me this is the exit. Oh no.
This mission gave me a lot of time alone with my thoughts, and I realized there's probably a reason we haven't seen any more submersible Arcwing missions since Uranus's inception 10 plus years ago. But I also think it would be so incredibly funny to bring these back. Hell, bring back the Railjack underwater too. Let's see a fully underwater open world on Tau. I let John Endo hibernate for a while, and when I came back for day 7, my brand new Dagath was built, so naturally, I decided to search for an activity to test her out. I decided on trying to do some Thermia fractures to see if I could get a shiny new Opticore Vandal, and it, didn't really go too well.
Okay, these guys kind of hurt a little bit. Might have to work on our survivability a tad.
Okay, yeah, it's getting really hard to kill stuff now. Let's break down the why of why I want to break my monitor. No. I mean, why am I starting to exponentially lose my combat effectiveness? So, quite apparently, Warframe is a horde shooter, right? You are one guy, fight off many bad guys easily. Yes? However, unlike your traditional big fight games or boomer shooters, in Warframe, even the average crowd filler enemies can body you if you get caught lacking. And I know at least one of you in the peanut gallery is going to bring up your shield gating, arcane persistence, unkillable, untouchable, unwashable immortality build, but we're talking about baseline Warframe here. The point is, the majority of survivability in Warframe comes from your own offensive output. If you kill enemies quickly, you spend less time getting shot. Pretty straightforward. But if you fail to kill enough enemies to keep your head above water, as more mobs spawn than you can kill, you will quickly find yourself swarmed by enemies that will reenact the Red Dead 1 ending to you, to your companions, to your defense objectives, and to your credit score. As you can clearly see, this is what is beginning to happen to me. Now, fortunately, the Orb Valis enemies are much stronger than their level would have you expect, so as we progress down the critical story path, we'll probably still be able to deal with enemies in a reasonable manner. But for what comes afterwards, we're probably gonna have to up our power. Now, as to getting stronger without the use of Endo, there are a couple ways. The most obvious one would be get better weapons. Right now I've got the Paris, Heck, and Amanata as my standout weapons due to the high damage they can deal without ranked mods. But further down the line, I'm looking to pick up more weapons that have noticeably high base stats, such as the Natarik, which not only do you get for free after the new war, but also comes with a base 60% critical chance on its perfect draw. Warframes are also a notable power bump, as many of them, like Dagath, have abilities that are balanced around one-shotting high-level steel path enemies, which means that down here in the shallows, they can one-shot essentially everything on the base star chart, even while unmodded.
Like the big guy. Alright, check this out. Wombo, into the combo. Half your HP is gone, and then, wanna watch me do it again? Fuck, there's the combo. Now I'm Dagathing it. Do it again. Why do I have so much energy all of a sudden? Should you do that more often? Right? I think I definitely should.
Also, more mods are going to be a big help, even if their stats are dog water. But what I think might really let me actually do stuff is set mods. In normal gameplay, 99% of these things are straight downgrades to existing mods that give you a gimmicky stat boost when they're all equipped, with that boost sometimes also just being a downgrade of another mod. But since mod sets can be completed even with unranked mods, this might just be our way of cheating some much needed offensive stats onto our weapons. But, yeah, all that to say, didn't get the Opticore Vandal. What I did get was access to the second dream though. Of course, Warframe is a game with great cinematic quests and stories that absolutely blow you away the first time through. But this is not my first time through, and the only story that matters here is that of John Endo. Speaking of, meet our operator, Jane Endo. In what I'm sure is a surprising choice to nobody, I picked Zeneric as my starting focus school. But unlike all you posers who already have bottomless energy reserves and just wanted even more on that pile, I actually need this energy regen. At the start of day 8, I remembered that I actually own a dojo, and that I can get access to some pretty decent stuff, but as its sole member and owner, I actually have to show up to build stuff. Now, of course, crafting such vaunted weapons like the Sero and Catabolist is nice, but what I'm most interested in with lab research is gear. Energy and health restores, which will help me cheese most non-steel path content, so long as I have enough resources. And you can also craft a variety of stims at the Tenno lab, which I'm interested in checking out later. So let's head to the dojo and get Right. I need to actually build a connecting hall for all the rooms and wait 24 hours. It's okay. Next time. Next time for sure I'll get my Tenno lab. War Within time. Again, great quest, cool story, much lore. All that matters in the end is that now our operator can actually run around and we have access to the full Zeneric Focus School tree. My plan for now is to treat Focus School upgrades like mods, so while I'll be able to unlock each node, upgrades are off the table. For now, at least. Even unranked though, Wellspring will give me 3 energy regen a second, which, to my energy-starved ass, is the gameplay equivalent of giving a Neanderthal who only has eaten raw yams in their entire life, just full-on Dr. Pepper. I will break my rule and talk about the War Within for one thing, though. The boss fight with the Elder Queen. Not a big fan. It's fine right up until the end where the Queen starts chain CCing you with no real sign of what you're supposed to do. I thought it was related to void dashing through her, which it is, but you need to do it at just the right time before she blasts you. This whole experience was extrapolated by some well-meaning viewers in my Twitch chat who must have simply forgotten to open their eyeballs before typing, telling me I needed to shoot the braids, despite me having shot the braids at the beginning. It's fine. It's fine. I'm over it. Afterwards, I tried a hijack mission, which actually sucked so bad, and I hated even more than the Elder Queen boss fight. This isn't even necessarily a problem born from my kit being Endoless, it's more so an issue with hijack in general, and how much of an actual pain it is to play solo. For those who might need a refresher, hijack is a barely used, for good reason it would seem, game mode where you steal a vehicle and escort it to extraction. The twist is that the vehicle is powered by your Warframe's shields. You know, the shields you might have very little of this early in the game, the shields that will instantly peel off if one of the several dozen enemies ahead even brushes you. Oh yeah, also the vehicle has limited health and can be targeted by the enemy, while also steadily ticking down over the course of the mission. I genuinely don't get why this game mode has so many different restrictions on it. It's not like this rover even contains anything particularly useful, but like, yeah, this is something I just actually can't do at the moment, which means we are not progressing to the Void through Europa anytime soon. Now, I started off with another round of tasty alerts. First up was a survival mission that only really got dicey because solo spawn rates leave a level feeling more empty than Trials of Osiris queue, and we had another interception mission, which gave me the chance for some cathartic revenge after the Dagath incident, since the enemies were such low level. I paid another visit to my dojo to finally get that Tenno lab built, and
Let's start building these labs, because I'm gonna need a Tenno lab. You must build an oracle first.
Right, we need to build an oracle first to build our labs. Yes, I'll just get that building and come back in 24 hours. Next time though. Next time I'll get my Tenno lab for sure. Our next bit of progression down the critical path involves completing Rising Tides, the Railjack building quest. Back in my day, this took a lot longer to get through, but even slimmed down, it's like 5 missions of the same defense objective versus sentience, broken up with build requirements that I mostly had everything for, sans 400 circuits, which I want to send to farm, and if I'm already farming circuits, I might as well go for another 900 in order to build the Dread, which I got the blueprint for after running the Stalker over with a pack of wild horses. The Dread has one of the highest base critical chances in the game, combined with really high slash damage, so I imagine it'll probably be nice to have, hence the rather lengthy detour to farm the requisite circuits. So here's the plan. Finish building the Railjack, come back later, collect my shiny new bow, which will then hopefully tide me over until we can clear the new war and get another shiny new bow. Overall, I'd say even though we had a bit of a rough start this episode, things are definitely on the up and up, with the operator providing us with energy regeneration, as well as another weapon that deals surprisingly okay damage. As always, shout out to the folks who came out to watch the recording of this episode live, and if you'd like to do the same, check out my Twitch, link in the description. We've still got a long road ahead of us, but we're making steady progress, and we're going to make one huge stride forward next time on,